Kendrick Lamar just dropped the best music video this year, and honestly, all that can be said is that he is on the top of the hip-hop world. After the pop-out concert,
for
it
sure,
really felt like there was nothing else that Kendrick Lamar could do. But here, Kendrick Lamar is again reminding people why he is the boogeyman of hip-hop. And without further ado, let's just talk about everything that's happened so far. The last chapter of the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef was not too long ago, with the pop-out Ken and Friends concert, reminding people that Kendrick Lamar is like that. He pulled out a bunch of West Coast legends and just overall West Coast stars, and not only did he show the importance of unity and community, he showed just how petty he can be. He opened up the show with Euphoria and closed it with Not Like Us. Not once, not twice, not 5 times, but 6 times. All the while paying tribute to Tupac and having like 30 people.
It was a fire concert.
While he dissed Drake, which by the way, didn't just include rappers. It also included people like DeMar DeRozan and Russell Westbrook. And given how much of a groupie Drake is for basketball players, I know that had to hurt. And not only was he dissing Drake with words, he was doing the little hotline bling dance. And all of that is to say that Kendrick was on one that night, and he has been ever since Like That dropped. For reference as to how good Kendrick Lamar is doing, Like That is still in the top 15 of the Billboard Hot 100, Euphoria is still in the top 50, and Not Like Us is in the top 3. Drake, by the way, has one song in the top 100, and it's the one where he raps over the BBL Drizzy beat. So go figure. In other words, Kendrick Lamar already won the beat. And honestly, he didn't need to drop a music video, but he did. Shortly after the pop-out concert, rumors of a Not Like Us music video being shot started circling around. And on Independence Day, July 4th of 2024, Kendrick Lamar has decided to drop the Not Like Us music video. Which reminds me, if you hear fireworks at all during this video, it's because of that. It's because Kendrick Lamar decided, you know what, July 4th, people are having a good day, let me just drop some heat on. Like, I'm not complaining, but at the same time, he's kind of rude for that, you know what I mean? But with the stage being set, let's talk about that Like That video, because I have some thoughts.
the simple fact that he had his pop-out concert on Juneteenth, and he dropped Not Like Us on July 4th. Really let this like sink in. Like, that's fire, bro. Come on, bro.
Because Kendrick Lamar
is
not teasing a song for what might be his next album.
Life goes on, honey, hug my baby.
And honestly, I would not be surprised if some people thought that Kendrick Lamar wanted to drop another one, another diss track, just for the LOLs. But for now, it seems like it's unrelated. We will keep an eye on it. But for now, the video cuts to this guy knocking out.
I think he in album mode.
What's called shave and a haircut, which I didn't know how to name, but now I do, which apparently dates back to a minstrel song. So anyways, the guy is greeted by Tommy the Clown, who asks, what's the password? And of course, the password is... And I mean, is there a better way to start off a video? I don't know. I personally never have. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't subscribe to this channel, because honestly, I would appreciate it.
For sure. Subscribe to my channel and his channel.
Tommy the Clown is teaching a class full of students how good of a song Not Like Us is. It's also not lost on me that this could be another reference to Drake being a pedophile, but yeah, of course, it's none other than Mr. Morale himself, Kendrick Lamar, with a very interesting attire, if you ask me, to be honest. But he's doing his little dances and stuff, and then he just had to do it to him. And of course, he had to do it to Drake. He drops and he does some push-ups. Of course, referencing Drake's first response with push-up back when Drake was talking about dropping Gimme 50. And honestly, I think push-ups was good, but I don't think it even matters anymore. And I feel like most shots in this video is just Kendrick Lamar proving why he won, but we'll talk about that later. Of course, he's doing push-ups on cinder blocks, which I assume could be a reference to jail. Like, I don't know, cinder block push-ups just kind of looks like something someone in prison would do, especially with a plain bed and frame. I feel like it's a reference. But of course, that's followed by probably the funniest part of this music video, which is Kendrick Lamar smashing an OV-Ho pinata. And here's me thinking that this video was just gonna be a simple, oh, I'm in Compton type thing, and no, it's pretty creative. Especially when Kendrick Lamar does the hopscotch dance, which again is probably a minor diss at Drake for being a you-know-what. And then it cuts to a crowd full of people talking about they not like us. And honestly, this gotta be a sad day for Canada, because to see the most notable Canadian of all time get cooked like this on 4th of July, it just has to sting.
Cookie Monster.
It's very similar to when Kendrick did the same thing for King Kunta, which of course we now know is partly directed at Drake. So of course I find it a bit funny. Then Kendrick walks into this local restaurant to diss Drake again, which might be a reference to New Ho King and how Drake doesn't show love in Toronto like that. But speaking of Toronto, what is DJ Mustard doing with a Toronto Blue Jays hat on? Like, come on, dog. Like, come on.
No, that's a good joint.
Toronto sports teams. DeMar DeRozan pulls back up, and at this point,
no, that's another good joint. We need little subliminals. Yeah. We need double entendres. Even if we in a music video. You feel me?
And he just doesn't fuck with Drake.
Get him up out of here.
Something must have happened between them two because they used to be buddy. His nickname is Comp 10 for a reason. So maybe it's just him repping Compton more than anything. All of this is happening while Kendrick Lamar is dancing in a suit, doing his best Wall Street impersonation, I guess. They have this girl dancing on the rope, and I don't know how they did it, but shout out to her. She's really hitting that. Anyways, a little further up in the music video, they show a shot of Kendrick posted up with the whole crew. That's Punch, that's Top Dog, that's Musa, that's J-Rock, Absol, and Schoolboy Q, which is in the same location where King Kunta was shot at. And it's all smiles and it's dancing and whatnot. And then we get the most definite blow of the music video. Because for the past month and a half, I was thinking, man, Kendrick Lamar really didn't need to address the wife beating allegation. Which to me, in the moment, was the most damning thing against Kendrick. And at least to me, made me feel like it was a little bit even. But at the end of the day, there's no reason why come out and say, yo, I didn't beat my wife, when you can just dance with your whole family on Drake's grave.
The family matter and the truth of the matter. He was God's plan to show y'all the liar.
Not only shutting down the whole Kendrick you beat your wife narrative, but also shutting down the narrative of Kendrick, your kid isn't yours, even though he looks just like you. And as Kendrick says, it is God's plan to show y'all the liar. And you almost have to wonder if he broke this bar with this shot in mind, or if it just came to be how it was. But let's just say Drake and Drake fans are looking bad, because even before the video dropped, they were trying to get ahead of it by saying, it doesn't look like Whitney wants to be there, but she looks like she's having the time of her life. So I don't know, man. Family Matters to me just doesn't hit the same now. It doesn't plant that seed of doubt in my head like it used to. And with the recent flop from Drake and Camila Cabello, I just gotta say that it's looking tough for Drake. It's going to be a long summer full of WAPs, OB hoes, and A minors. And honestly, thinking back to the beginning of the beef and the beef as it happened, it's kind of hard to think about the time where it did look even, where you could look at the beef and say, hey, it's 50-50 right now. Because now this is one of the most lopsided beatings in hip-hop history. And I love how the music video ends, because the music video ends with Kendrick Lamar putting an owl in a cage, implying what we all know: them OB ho peoples need to get locked up, man. And video side, man, it's looking bad for Drake. Like, I honestly would not be surprised if this is the beginning of the end for his, like, prime or his career as a whole.
I would say just somebody who watches energy and watches how things come and go. I definitely think it's the beginning of the end of his prime. Now, he had a long way up, so he's going to have a long way down. But it's definitely the end of his prime.
Honestly, I'm not saying he won't be famous, because very clearly Drake will be famous forever. But it might be time for him to do that Ice Cube switch into acting. Or I guess switch again back into acting. But the music side is looking bad. And personally, I like to keep it real. But if there's one thing I've learned, is that in storytelling, sometimes it's more important to show than to tell. Or in other words, sometimes
Gotta pop out and show niggas.
And Kendrick Lamar showed out. Anyways, shout out to all the people that are...
Truth is, shout out to bro, and there's a new king on the block. His name is Kendrick Lamar. He's from the West Coast, Compton. A real hood within the United States. Not saying he was like that growing up, but some of us was like that growing up. Some of us grew up in them inner cities, and we can tell who's who. We may have been fooled in the past, but Kendrick, he pointed out, you know, Drizzy, he ain't like us. He didn't grow up in them cities, man. He grew up in Canada with a Jewish mom. A Jewish mom, and him himself, he said on tracks that he didn't like his dad, and his Jewish mom didn't like his dad, who was black. So we gotta stop acting like he one of us. He ain't, man. He only one of us when it's convenient. Nah, he don't know the struggle, man. He don't know what we going through. We gotta stop acting like he do. And honestly, Drizzy could have just been the emotional broken kid. He could have been the heartbreak kid. But then he traveled over into the lane of black people. And he ain't had no business over here because he don't know our plight and he don't know our struggle. Kendrick do though. So you shouldn't have never came over here because you played yourself, my boy. Alright. So it's your boy, what's up, G? Don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. How y'all feeling about the Not Like Us music video? I loved it. I loved every part of it. I loved the subliminals. What's some of the best parts y'all thought was fire? And don't forget to subscribe. We're on the road to 10K. We'll be there soon. I'm gonna stay consistent. Y'all just hit that like button. My job is to stay consistent. Y'all job is just to hit the like button. It's something simple, something light, you know. But I'm gonna keep my foot on these suckers next, cause I feel disrespected. Y'all came into the hip hop game and just played with us. And I take this stuff serious, man. I love hip hop. I love writing music. I write for different artists. I write for myself. You played with us. Alright? It's your boy, What's Up, G. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all today, I love y'all. I'm out. You played, my boy.